right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Blindside Blitz. I'm Jim McPhee, and right there is my co-host, Mr. Joe DeCapita.
What's going on, Blitz Nation? Welcome back. You know what we're about to do. We're going to talk some NFL with you guys. But before we do that, we'd like you to head over to YouTube for us at Grumblings Media. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Very simple, absolutely free to do. Don't, and while you're there, just give us a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that more people need to see this show. And don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend. But we are joined by one of the best dudes that we know in the networks. One of the most sought after talents on the West Coast is Mr. Brian No from Fox Sports. Welcome to the show, Brian.
How you guys doing, man? Thanks for having me back. It's always good talking ball with you guys.
Oh,
absolutely.
hell yeah.
Doing great.
Yeah, absolutely. Really great. Good to see, my Giants here. I think we found our franchise quarterback. It sucks that, with some of the things that we've had face us this season, Malik Neighbors going down, now Scattaboo, it's a season that's kind of in the dumpster. We've had some pretty good wins, but, overall, I can't complain, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we knew it wasn't going to be a work of art this year, and Jackson Dart looks like he can be a legit franchise quarterback, hopefully. So, I mean, listen, if you didn't have, you weren't thinking you're going to be a 12-5 football team, right? So I'll take whatever it's going to be, 4 or 5 wins, whatever it ends up being. And it looks like you might have a franchise QB. I'll take that trade-off all day.
Yeah, absolutely, Brian. So let's talk about, we know you're a Dolphins fan, so let's touch on the Dolphins quick. Last week, it seemed like the world was coming all down, right? Everybody's talking about how, bad they're playing. 2 consecutive games with 3 interceptions. Last week, I brought up the fact that Mike McDaniel on the sideline looks like the Unabomber kind of out there with his hooded and everything. So yeah, the sky is falling all over. And boom, all of a sudden, what happened this last weekend?
I have no idea. That was you heard of out of body experiences. That was an out of team experience. I don't know what happened. Like to win going away, win 34-10.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts he's scoring a garbage time touchdown. Like who saw that coming? That's life in the NFL. And the crazy thing is, it's almost all chalk the rest of the week. Like chalk was 11-2, I think. And you had the Dolphins and the Jets out of nowhere rise up and win games. That was crazy.
Absolutely crazy. And you bring up your Dolphins, of course. But listen, Tua, did pretty well this past week. 20 of 26 in passing, had 205 yards, threw 4 touchdowns, and wait for it, no interceptions.
Yeah.
It's like a whole new age in the Miami Dolphins this past week. And then you had everybody complaining. A lot of fans, a lot of people in the medias. We're all talking about like the downfall of Miami and like, oh my God, sky is falling. Mike McDaniels is a terrible coach. Get him out of here. Tua's got to go. But Brian, I got to ask you, what's your opinion on both these guys, Tua and Mike McDaniels? Do they stay? Do they go? What's the future for them?
I think that Tua, he's owed, gosh, I don't even know, like $53 million, something crazy next year. So unless you can find someone as a dance partner in the league, who wants to take that on? Who's like, oh yeah, Tua, that's our savior. Who's thinking like that? Who's compensating the Dolphins to trade for Tua? I don't think anybody's doing that. So probably what's going to happen, the Dolphins, I'm hoping that they can find a quarterback in the draft. First round, maybe they need to move up. Maybe they'll be in a decent enough spot where they don't have to do that. You draft a quarterback, you probably have 2 on the roster. It's probably going to be a Falcons. That's funny, right? Coincidentally, they just beat the Falcons. Right. Probably going to be a Falcons-like situation, right? With Kirk and with Penix Jr. That's probably what the Dolphins are going to look like next year. I don't know about Mike McDaniel. I'm surprised he still has a job right now.
Yeah.
But, Stephen Ross is like, no. And if ownership is like, no, he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere, man. But I thought he would have been gone going into the Atlanta game, but he's still around. And depending on how the season goes, I mean, I can't believe he's coaching right now. So I don't know what to tell you going forward. I don't think he'll be the head coach going forward because it makes sense to start over with a new quarterback, new head coach. That'll probably happen, but I don't know if Ross is bullish. This would be a baller move to be like, I don't care what everybody is. McDaniel stays. But look at Shane Steichen, right? You could start to slowly justify it if you say, he knows what he's doing. He's had success with quarterbacks before. Maybe Tua is just like damaged goods. And can McDaniel, like Steichen, all of a sudden, Steichen looks like he knows what he's doing again. It's amazing when he has a competent quarterback, right? So there's an argument to be made to keep McDaniel. I think you start fresh. But as long as there's an argument to be made, we'll see if Stephen Ross makes that argument going forward.
Now, you mentioned starting fresh, and that kind of leads me into the next question: is if you're in control, Brian, are you completely blowing everything up, starting a rebuild as of this offseason?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Because here's the thing with McDaniel, he's just shown a complete lack of adjustments. And if you've got this roster that's not nearly as talented as it once was, they're not good in the trenches. I say Miami is a pretty team, right? They beat you with timing, precision, passing. That's why they look great in a dome, right? They looked really good in a dome situation. But to just line up and knock people off the ball, that's just not them. And so when you have a struggling Tua or a first-round quarterback, that's tailor-made for a head coach that makes adjustments in game. And McDaniel just doesn't do that. I swear, time and time again, he's like, well, looks like the game plan isn't going to work and we're screwed. And that's it. There's no adjusting at all. It's crazy, but I don't think he fits with where the Dolphins are and where they're headed next year. You need a guy that's, a culture guy that's going to make adjustments on the fly. And he's just shown an inability to do that.
Right. Yeah, I'm in agreement with that one. And it's funny you bring up Shane Steichen because did anybody ever really see the Colts, doing what they're doing this year, right? We've always kind of looked at the Colts and be like, hey, they've got a really great running back if he stays healthy, right? Because a lot of these seasons we've seen him just play like half the season, and then Naeem Hines or whoever it might be, the backup, come in and fill it in for him. Defense has been pretty solid. That O-line, all you needed was the quarterback. They've been searching for a quarterback for a while, but who would have ever answered and said Daniel Jones is the answer? And lo and behold, here they are. The Giants garbage is the next team's treasure, right? So here they are, 7-1 right now. The Colts, it seems like they're doing everything right. But are you sold that the Colts, are they the best team in the NFL right now?
No, I don't buy them. As of now, they're playing really well, and I love their offense. Their offense has been fantastic, and I think they can maintain a comparable level, right? They might not hit the ceiling the whole way, but I don't think they're going to just fall off and average like a Titans 14 points a game or something like that. Really good offensive line. I like their weapons. Tyler Warren has been a stud rookie tight end. I don't know what the Bears were thinking passing on that guy, but he goes to the Colts. He's done wonders for them. And then Pittman Jr., Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, like they just have guys that can make plays. And Daniel Jones has played really, really well. I love their offense. I just don't like their defense, man. They don't have a pass rush, and I don't like their defensive backs. I don't like their corners. They got Kenny Moore back in the slot. That helps. But against the top teams that they're going to face down the stretch and certainly in the playoffs, you just can't out-offense these top teams. It's not going to work. Like if you get in a shootout with Mahomes and the Chiefs play much better defense, your days are numbered. So I don't buy them along those lines. But, I think they can still stack wins. I don't think this is a complete flash in the pan, but to do like damage and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, I don't see that come playoff time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. You see these teams, they start off hot, they get something going. Schedule, I think, is a big part of it too, and you'll find out, like you were talking about too, later on in this later on part of the season, and even come playoff time. That's when we'll find out who these teams really are, and that's when some of these teams even turn it on. We talked about Chris Jones kind of taking plays off, and the footage came out there too. And then one game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? And he's the guy that again just turns it on for the playoffs, and then gets roaring. Then speaking of playoffs, though, too, I know
Playoffs?
we're playoffs.
Playoffs.
Is there a team right now that is kind of seems like they're down, but can potentially be that team to come back and make a playoff run?
Well, hey man, it's if Lamar ever starts playing again, like the Ravens,
Oh, I
their
know.
schedule sets up where they could
I'm
absolutely
happy when
stack
I'm
wins.
playing.
Yeah, they could absolutely stockpile some wins, and that they're a classic case of you're going to hear this like no one wants to face the Ravens come playoffs, right? That's the team that fits that type of mold. Someone else, Washington, man, they got to get Jaden Daniels back, but they could lose the next couple of games.
Yeah.
They might be cooked.
Yeah.
The Vikings, they got a lot of talent, but that defense is not close to what they once were. And you need JJ McCarthy in his third start to act like a seasoned pro.
Right.
I just don't think that's happening either. So I think the NFC is open, but look, man, in terms of who's going to go to the Super Bowl, but who's going to come from, say, a losing record right now to doing significant damage? Man, I don't know. Like, if Dallas could fix their defense, that offense is fantastic, but I just don't trust their defense as far as I can throw them. The Texans' offensive line sucks. They love their defense, man. If they could just get some more.
That is one big pile of shit.
Right? Like, that's a sucky division. Maybe they could find their way into the playoffs, but man, there's no one that I can see outside of, say, Baltimore that could stack wins, favorable schedule, and present a lot of problems if they can somehow get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's funny too that you even went like AFC and not anywhere near like the NFC, like the Cowboys or anything like that. Very interesting. I like it though. I was thinking the Ravens too as well, and we could touch on that in just a second. I want to give a shout out to Christian Dickinson's in the house with us tonight.
Christian.
He's a follower out. He's a Giants fan.
Welcome.
He says, "What's up, fellas?" Yeah. He goes, "The Giants still suck. Fire everyone." See, I know.
He should hire McDaniel. Is that the next? Fire everything. Hire McDaniel.
Oh boy, yeah, that's what we need. I need him with his hood and everything, looking terrible on the sideline too. Just watching, he looks like one of the fans, but who's this guy on the sideline? Who is this guy? Does he have credentials? Oh man! And shout out to William Del Pilar's in the house.
What's going on, William?
He said, I said that Daniel Jones used to drive Big John crazy. He said that about Daniel Jones. Sorry, used to drive Big John crazy. The Giants are death nail for those quarterbacks. Is he elite? Well, it's easy to say no, but he's playing up to his draft ranking right now. Go Colts.
Man, I'll tell you what, man. I have a bad betting story for you. I picked the wrong year to back Daniel Jones because I said this last year. He had the lowest passing yardage prop for the whole season, right? The lowest guy. Like, there were rookies with higher passing, yardage totals. I'm like, look, man, I'm not telling you like he's this baller or something like that. Certainly with the Giants, he was not. But I'm like, he's better than his reputation.
Yeah,
he just is. And so I bet him, to go over. I'm like, look, there are two things that could screw this up. It's either injury again. I'm betting that he's not going to have this season-ending injury again, or he gets benched. And they went overseas. They played the London game, and Tyrone Tracy Jr. fumbled, and they lost to some horrible. I forget who they even played, like Carolina or something.
Yeah.
And he got benched, and I lost that bet. And now he has this resurgence. He's crazy. I lost my season-long prop. That was the bet I bet the most on. And Daniel Jones didn't get it done. He got benched. And now he's like an MVP candidate. So I was 1 year too short on that guy.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why I don't bet either.
We've talked about the good. We've talked about the bad. And we've also talked about some ugly situations. I want to put you in the seat of commissioner, Brian. I want you to be the new commissioner of the NFL starting next season. You have this crisis that fans are losing their minds about the NFL referees, and like, are they getting worse? Like, is it the teaching in the off season or studying film? What is it? What corrections would you make as commissioner, whether it be age requirement, go to full time? What would it be?
I like that age requirement.
Mm.
Yeah. Let's get these fossils out of here, right? That's a good one. I like that.
Right?
You know what? I've had jobs before
Mhm.
where there really wasn't a solution, but what you do is you tell the bosses what they want to hear and you kind of like delay the inevitable. I mean, unfortunately, that's the way the game is played sometimes, where
Mhm.
like, for instance, we had to do all this online stuff. They wanted us to do a lot of blogging, right?
Mhm.
And so they would complain. They'd be like, "Hey, we missed this story, and you know, this guy's going to be a color commentator. We didn't have anything on that story." And I can't tell them like, "We're not ESPN.com. We don't have 97 employees. You know, we're
Yeah.
gonna miss stories. We got like 3 dudes posting stuff. You
Right.
know, you can't tell them that. What you have to do is say, all right, hey, new system in place. Bruce, he's going to handle the NFL stuff. I'll handle the NBA stuff. You know, we'll have a system here.
Yeah.
We're still going to miss the same amount of stories.
Right.
We still don't have
Mhm.
97 employees, right? But it
Mhm.
appeases them for the time being.
Mhm.
So I think
Mhm.
with Goodell, in terms of fixing the officiating, there's no way to do that. There's no way to like, hey, you can only be between 30 and 50. Get out of here, all you old hacks. You know, like it's going to make subtle tweaks and little adjustments. It's not going to fix it. I think the most overrated idea, and I hear this time and time again, is full-time officials. That's not going to make everything perfect at all. I don't even know if it'll make it like noticeably better.
Yeah.
It's like these guys in the NFL, they're running so fast. They're bigger, faster, stronger. To make a call in a blink of a second, sometimes it's hard to see it on replay. Good luck seeing that in live moving action. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. So this idea of, hey, full-time officials, that's going to fix it. It's not going to fix anything. But going back to how the game is played, if Goodell's like, hey, we got full-time officials in place, there are going to be a lot of fans that buy it and say, oh, okay, it's going to be better now. It's not going to be that much better at all. I don't believe it makes that much difference whatsoever. But what it would help is the perception. And it would help some people to feel better, like, oh, okay, they're taking this seriously. That's about the best he could do as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
We're talking to Brian Noe from Fox Sports Radio. Countdown to kickoff by BetMGM. Speaking of penalties and things like that, it's been brought up probably the last couple seasons now about the tush push and how that should be banned and what it should be banned, shouldn't, blah blah blah. But there's been multiple occurrences this season and a couple times, both against the Giants, even where we saw the tush push was ran literally 4 times in a row, and it was like the ugliest thing I've ever seen before in my life. I'm like, seriously, guys, you got nothing else in the playbook that you think is going to work here? And then now this whole fumble that happens here this past weekend. What's your call on the tush push and whether it should be banned or not?
Look, man, I don't want it to go away, but it's going away. There is no chance this thing is back next year. None. And like, first off, I don't think it should go away. I think, listen, people just don't like how it looks.
Yeah.
I can understand. That's not a good enough reason
Right.
to get rid of it. Like, the Eagles are just better than everybody else at running it. And it sucks that they're that good, but that's not a good enough reason. They're too dominant, and we don't like it. That's not a good enough reason, right? Like, imagine playing that game with, like Mahomes throwing to Tyreek Hill is too dominant, and we don't like it, and therefore he can't throw the ball 40 yards downfield. Like, what are we doing here, you know? And I think it's crazy against the Giants. You think about the first game. They run it 4 times in a row. There was an offside penalty that goes uncalled, right?
Yeah.
And someone got hurt. Every box of this
checked all the boxes
away. And then they one-upped it this past week when it's obviously a fumble. There's no whistle, and they're like, we called forward progress. You can't even challenge it. It's going away. This thing is like they say Mike McDaniel is a dead man
Yeah,
walking.
yeah.
This is a dead play walking.
Yeah.
It is absolutely gone. I don't want it to go away at all, but it is absolutely going away.
And real quick, like you mentioned, what like going back to like the NFL officials being changed or whatnot. I feel like this play, the reason why there's so many people, especially in the higher ups, the league owners and all that, that are looking into this, that don't want the play around anymore is because there used to be a rule that forbid this, where you couldn't push
Right.
your own offensive player to help them gain yards.
Mhm.
And they brought it
Yeah.
back, and now we're having this issue. I think it's bigger than the play. I think it's because the officials themselves can't judge it. They can't honestly
Mm,
judge where the ball is. They can't judge, if a fumble occurs in that scrum, and that's what makes it
mhm.
super difficult. And they would just want to get rid of the big gray area that is this play.
Yeah, and I think, that's probably what they're going to do. They might expand it a little bit to get rid of it.
Mhm.
They tried the safety thing, like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a safety. It's like no one's getting hurt. Like in last offseason, no one's gotten hurt. Like that's a bad reason. Now they have a couple of dudes that have gotten banged up this year, but I think it's what you're talking about there, where it's like, hey, no pushing your teammate forward in any capacity, not just the tush push, but
Yeah.
you're 10 yards downfield, and all of a sudden your offensive lineman just runs up
Yeah.
to the back of you and pushes you forward. They're going to be like, no more of that at all. Because I also think this too, where like, when do you judge forward progress has been stopped? There
Right.
have been games where they let it go on way too
Oh,
long,
yeah.
and they're just
Mhm.
pushing them 8 yards
Yeah.
downfield, and it looks weird and goofy. And I think they're going to get rid of that. And there are times where they call forward progress way too soon.
Too.
The
Oh,
guy
yeah.
he's still moving his legs.
Mhm.
Like, so I think they're just going to put the kibosh on all of that, make it a little bit easier on the officials. Because listen, it's again, when you see things on replay, you might have the overhead shot of the right guard moving a little early or right down the
Yeah.
line of scrimmage. And it's like, that's not where the official is at. That's not
Right.
where he can't
Mhm.
see
No.
that, and he can't see it that
Yeah.
fast either. So it
Yeah.
just makes the officials look so bad and incompetent, when the truth is it's really difficult to officiate that play. So I think that's the way they're going to get rid of it, is like no assisting, no pushing your teammate forward. And I think all that stuff is
Yeah.
going to be out.
Yeah. Again, the one thing, I mean, we already complain about the way officials are anyways and stuff, but to make him look that incompetent right there, so that it's a losing situation every time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just embarrassing, and that's the NFL. That's what they do not want.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the how about the Super Bowl halftime show, Joe? I want to get Brian's take on this too. I know you're a big music lover. You play guitar, and we would love to see a rock act here too. How about Bad Bunny being named the Super Bowl halftime show? What's your take on that? And what would you like to see a rock guy here for once?
I would love to see Slayer. I go to the extreme. I'd love to see Lamb of God. Like, get Metallica. I would love to see that. But look, man, I'm not a complainer about the halftime acts.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I asked for really is that you're actually performing. That's it. No matter what,
Mhm.
whether
Yeah.
it's pop, rap,
Right.
rock, what you are performing your stuff. Like I like a lot of Kendrick's stuff. I don't like that he
Yeah.
wasn't performing it. When it's
Right.
obvious that you're just lip syncing it, I'm out on everybody. I want to see a live performance. So that's all I ask. But whether it's Kendrick Lamar or Bad Bunny or Tom Petty, the late great, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
fine with
Yeah.
all of it. And it's one of these, look, man, if I hate it, I'm just gonna turn the channel. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
get a snack. I'm not gonna waste time complaining about it. Like Bad Bunny, he's got a few songs that I like. And I know a lot of people are upset about this. And it's just like, look, man, like not everything's going to be catered to you in life.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah,
get
yeah.
the exact act or performer that you want on the halftime stage, especially if you listen to like underground stuff like I do. I know that
Yep.
you're not going to have a metal band. I know Lamb of God
Yeah.
is never going to play the halftime show of the Super Bowl. I'm not going to whine about it, you know? So it's like, if
yeah.
you hate it that much, then just take a walk.
Well, yeah, like who
Yeah.
watches it anyways, really,
Yeah.
for real though. You know what I mean? We've got a couple comments on there. We were talking about the referees, and William says if they're fat and slow part-time, they'll be fat and slow full-time.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Or full-time now. Okay, good. It's the same problem still exists.
Yeah, yeah. He goes, how about go younger for starters? We got our man Mike Tackett is in the house with us tonight. He's
What's going on, Mike?
He's a know-it-all too as well. He says, do you guys think Mike McDaniel is a dark horse to coach the college level, or if he gets fired by Miami? Florida seems like the perfect spot for him.
Man, I don't know. The one thing to the comment is there are a lot of elite jobs in college without a lot of elite coaches available, you know? So with that in mind, maybe there's a school that says, are we going to do better than this? You know, and maybe he gets a look that way. If that's what he wants, he might want to stay in the NFL and just try to be an OC, be a quarterback's coach, be something like that. So a lot of it's what he wants. And if there's going to be an opportunity presented like that, but I would say that's the path to him maybe getting an opportunity. Is there are a lot of openings, and there aren't, you know, just an endless supply of elite names out there.
Yeah, we talked about Mike McDaniels a lot, and the consensus is still that he should be fired. What other head coaches do you believe, Brian, are on the hot seat? Maybe possibly also getting fired at the end of the year that, who knows, maybe people aren't thinking about.
I don't know if Aaron Glenn is going to survive this, man. It's been a grease fire with the Jets. And I know, listen, Woody Johnson came out and crushed Justin Fields. So like, that at least looks like ownership isn't blaming Aaron Glenn yet, you know? So maybe he survives. We already have the opening in Tennessee. Let's see. I think Jonathan Gannon probably stays there. You know, they're 2 and 5 years on the Cardinals, but he had a lot of success last year. I don't know that they just say, get out of here. Look, man, Raheem Morris. Can we talk about Raheem Morris for a second?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, I know it's hard to make this argument right now, but if we go in the hot tub time machine and they just said, no thanks, Bill Belichick, we're going to hire Raheem Morris, you know, and look at what they're doing right now. They're 3 and 4. They got shut out by the Carolina Panthers. They got crushed by the Miami Dolphins. They have a losing record. They should be better than what they are right now. They beat the Bills at home. This is chaos. What's going on with Atlanta? So, man, Raheem Morris might be out of a gig. They're not firing Kevin O'Connell. And like, is Brian Dable at some point they're going to be like, all right, let's move it along here. But Jackson Dart is having some success. And as long as Brian Dable is contributing to that success, he's got a fighting chance to keep his gig. I just think if they have too many losses, they might look to make a change there as well.
Gotcha.
Right. Again, in I was talking to Jordan Ron a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying, yeah, they've bought in on this season, and that's good and all. That's good to say, hey, you know, you got this year to figure it out, but things change. Like you said, you gather a bunch of those losses. It looks like all of a sudden everybody's not giving their 100%. Jackson Dart's, you know, only going so far. Right. Is it just the fact that it's all Jackson Dart? I mean, we're even talking about after Belichick and Tom Brady separated. Now with Belichick's doing what he's doing and Brady did what he did, that all the credit leaned towards Tom Brady.
Oh man, so, I've always thought that. I've thought that, you know, Brady meant more to the Patriots' success than Belichick did. That's not to say Belichick didn't mean a ton. He did. It's just Brady meant more. Like he's the GOAT. You know, a quarterback of that caliber. Like imagine if they subbed out Tom Brady for an average quarterback. Like, where are you? You're going nowhere. Imagine if they subbed out Belichick for an average coach. You can still win big. You can absolutely still win big. So, yeah, I think it's more about Brady than Belichick. But I know Belichick's not lighting the college world on fire.
No.
But is he doing better than Raheem Morris at the NFL level? I think he is. I do. Like, the problem with Belichick is that the GM Belichick gets in
power.
the way of the head coach Belichick. And the Falcons have decent talent where they have enough talent where I think Belichick for sure would be getting more out of that team than Raheem Morris is.
Yeah, and that team is always tough. We have an Atlanta Falcons guy that joins our other show every week and stuff, and he's always rah rah rah. You know, we love, you know, they're the greatest, and they're this, they're gonna beat this. And then again, they lay an egg the next week, and then you're like,
I don't
what
want to
happened
talk
there,
about
buddy? You know what I mean? It's so they're such like a what we call like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of team, you know. And you don't know what you're going to get. And when we do our weekly picks, it's like I'm a nervous wreck, and I'm like, I don't know what they're going to do to me this week. You know what I'm saying?
I know they have the potential to make you look great, and they have the potential to make you look like you don't even watch football. You know, like that's the Falcons. That's how they're all over the place, man. And yeah, it just hasn't been good. It should be a lot better with the talent that they have.
Isn't that how this NFL season has been with all teams? Like, I feel like this year, you can't really put your finger on it. Like every team has its ups and downs, whether week 2, week 3, whatever the case may be. You think you have a team figured out finally, and you're like, oh, this team's gonna squash this opponent, no problem. And then they end up losing the game somehow. So it blows my mind. This season, I've never been more complex than this year with the NFL.
Yeah, it's certainly kept you guessing, right? Like, and it's weird, right? You have to look at the big picture and not get stuck in a moment. And there are a lot of teams where we got stuck in the moment instead of looking at the big picture. The Chiefs are a great example of that, right? Chiefs had a couple of really bad weeks, and it's like, oh my gosh, this team. And yeah, they're getting Rashee Rice back healthy, right? They're going to have Xavier Worthy. And they're going to have Hollywood Brown. They're still going to have Travis Kelce. They have Mahomes. They have a lot of stuff, okay? Like, let's not sell all of our stock on the Chiefs. Who else? I think the Packers are a good example of that, right? Like, everybody was gung-ho about the Packers. Like, oh, after the first 2 weeks, Packers. That's all you heard. Like, they stomped the Lions and the Commanders, and we're like, whoa, Micah Parsons, Packers, look out. And after that, they lost to the Browns. They tied the Cowboys. They didn't cover against the Arizona Cardinals. And we're like, this team isn't even really that good. And now they're 5-1-1. You know what I mean? So I think that holds true as well, where it's like, based on a given week, the Broncos, another good example, like they looked horrible against the Jets. They beat them 13-11. Yeah. They had a miracle win against your Giants. No chance they should have won that game. We're like, gosh, Broncos 6-2, right? Their record is good. They're going to be in the way of other teams as we get closer to the playoffs. So that's my thing is I think we get stuck with a week or two of results, and that gets in the way of seeing the big picture. 'Cause it's a long freaking season, man. And I think we get too overreactionary with this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised that you didn't bring up Pete Carroll. What's your take on Pete Carroll with the Raiders? Do you think he's a one and done as well?
Yeah, man. I don't know. Just because he's got a relationship with Brady, you know, he's got the credentials. If anybody can survive just a horrible season, it's Pete Carroll. I'd have to tell you, he's at least a candidate to be one and done. I mean, imagine if it's kind of mutual where they say, hey, Pete, man, this season really sucked. And he's like, yeah, it did. And I don't know if I want to see this thing on through, right? Like maybe it's a little bit like, I wouldn't be shocked if he's gone. But if anybody can weather the storm, it's a guy with credentials. And he's got a legitimate coaching resume. So I think they'd have to stack a lot of losses for him to be out of there. And he's not on board with that decision.
Well, they're on their way.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. They're bad, dude. They are like unspeakably bad.
Terrible.
Yeah. And that's what's funny was coming around, you know, this time of year, I'm surprised some of the dominoes aren't falling. You know, I mean, it's not always just a head coach, but, you know, we've talked about Patrick Graham and the lack of defense and what they're doing there. that's a starter, something like that. Some, what I mean? And some even Giants fans, we know Christian out there too. He said something about even Shane Bowen, you know what I mean? For the Giants, if that's not working out, maybe he's got to go or something. I'm surprised some of these dominoes haven't fallen yet.
Yeah, right. You see the life preserver firings,
Yeah.
We're firing the DC,
Yeah.
The head coach to stay around.
Like we did that with the Giants until like Tom Coughlin, we forced him out. I'm like, dude, all right, just write your resignation already. Well,
it's coming. It's right around the corner. We've had a few weeks since Callahan got fired.
Yeah,
we're due for a few moves to happen here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking to Brian Noe, Fox Sports Radio, countdown to kickoff on the weekends here with by Bet MGM. Sorry, Brian, are we going to see a pony crawl in 2026?
If we do, it'll probably be solo. Because unfortunately, my girl and I are in the process of breaking up.
Fedora
going
on. Oh, really?
Yeah. So if it is, it's just going to be me. But guess what? It'll be double the money. I'll just take so I'm going big. I'm going large for the pony crawl.
Nice.
If that happens. But that was a lot of fun, man. Yeah. But or someone else going to be in the mix. Who knows? But
No, man. I've never heard that explained that way before, though. Too right, Joe? It's like I'm in the process right now of breaking right now. So it's like I'm like, okay, we're in the process is going through. But so did you end up even? Were you up on money during that whole week or that whole? You don't
started off
everyone now.
Yeah, I mean, stop me if you've heard this before. All gambling stories start with, "Oh man, I started off pretty good. I was doing well, and then the ponies got the best of me." So it was funny because my girl, soon to be ex-girl, it was funny because I was like, we were keeping track of all of our results, and I was like, "How'd you do?" She was like, "I lost $30." And I'm like, "All right." And I'd write everything down. We go to the next place. I was like, "How'd you do?" "I lost $30." It was just like a common trend where it's like, I lost 30. I lost 30. It adds up, but we had a great time, man. It was a lot of fun. We got our steps in.
Nice.
We went all over the place that night.
Nice. That's awesome. Hell yeah, man. Sounds good. Sounds fun. All right. Before we head out of here, it is Halloween. Joe and I used to dress up every year for it and stuff, but we're kind of done with all that. Oh wait, we got one question from William. Let's go to William before I bring in my last one here. Let's get to the comments here. He's got are the Bengals week 8 or is the Bengals week 8 loss a product of poor cap management when 3 players eat up 47% of your salary cap, or do you feel how do you feel the defense? Are they toast?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. We talked about that where I've always compared the Bengals to the Chiefs, like the Chiefs elected not to pay Tyreek Hill. They traded him and they paid Chris Jones because you need defenders. You need people on defense too. And the Bengals went in the complete opposite direction. They paid T. Higgins on top of paying Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. It was stupid cap management from the beginning. Their defense just isn't nearly good enough. They got shredded by Justin Fields and the Jets. Shredded.
Yeah.
Woody Johnson's killing Justin Fields before that game. He's like, it'd be nice if we had a guy that could complete passes. And man, the passer rating's in the toilet. And I'm paraphrasing, but he's killing Justin Fields, and Fields goes out there and wrecks the Bengals defense, So, yeah, they don't have the defense, and it's the same old story. I don't know why. That was the problem last year. It's not like they played really good defense, and you're like, you know what? The defense can hold its own. Let's put a little bit more into the offense. I could get that. The defense was awful. Joe Burrow was a legitimate MVP candidate. He put up historical numbers. They didn't sniff the playoffs because the defense was so bad, and they didn't address it. They put more into the offense. It was dumb from the beginning, and that's absolutely what came back to bite them against the Jets. No doubt about it.
Yep. Everybody kept saying the same thing, preaching to the choir. You know what I'm saying? It's funny when you're an owner, you're a GM, you'd think you would know some of this, but And we've talked to Roderick David. He's a former scout for the Atlanta Falcons, runs his own scouting company now. He was even saying the fact that, because we talked about the Bengals left and right and been like, well, this seems like they don't want to spend money. They don't want to do this and want that. And he's like, well, some of these guys, they're really good guys that are controlling some of this stuff and some of the scouting department stuff. The thing is, they don't have a very large scouting group and things like that too. So you have only a few guys trying to roughly do a bunch of different other jobs and stuff like that and scrambling around. And that's where they're missing out on some of this and that and this and that. So I thought that was an interesting take, at least to save face a little bit for what we automatically assume of the Bengals and just being a terrible organization and stuff. It's just they're light-handed, I guess, a little bit too.
It's one of these deals like, look, man, we're not GMs, right? I'm not saying I'm smarter than these GMs.
Right.
But if I know something that's so fundamental and you don't know it, I'm like, how do you not know this? You know, like
Yes.
I'm not claiming to be
Yes.
smarter than them. I'm just saying
Yes. No, I
2
get it.
plus 2 equals 4. Your defense
Yeah.
sucked last year. Maybe address it instead of, I don't know, splurging on the offense more. Like, this is not difficult, and they made it difficult.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. All right. So we're talking to Brian No, Fox Sports Radio. Brian, like I said, it is Halloween coming up. One last just funny question here. What's your favorite go-to Halloween candy?
Wow, that's a good question. Yeah, I'm a big candy bar guy, you know. So gosh, Butterfinger, Snickers, love me a Milky Way on
Nice.
Halloween, you know, and
Yeah.
I don't know if you consider it a candy bar, right? It's sort of in its own category, but Kit Kats are amazing. Love Kit Kats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I think they're just what they are, chocolate wafers, right? I mean, they're delicious. So, I mean, they're a solid every single year. So, yeah, absolutely, man. I agree. All those are good. I'm a chocolate guy. I mean, some of the other sugary candies, I'm not so much on there, but give me anything chocolate. I'm down.
Anything.
So,
How are you on coconut? Do you like the almond joys?
yeah, I do. Yeah. I'm like coconut too. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I'm okay
My
with
kids
it.
don't.
I'm
It's
not
weird,
huge on
but
coconut. I found out this
yeah.
weekend. Yeah, I'm not big on coconut myself.
Yeah. Interesting. What's funny is I get in this take with people is I find things good, but I think there's things that are overrated. And like the whole peanut butter thing for me is overrated. Like, peanut butter is good. I like peanut butter and chocolate, and peanut butter is good, but with the way people obsess about it, I think sort of like the pumpkin thing is overrated. Like, chill a bit. It's only peanut butter. Right.
What, like the peanut butter cups? You don't like those? Or what
Yeah.
is it?
No, I like them. I think they're good,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't think they're like, some people act like they're the best thing. And
Okay, so
on earth,
it's a little bit like my Star Wars feeling.
Yeah.
I get why it's
Yeah.
popular. It's really well written. I get why people like it. It's entertaining. But to dress up like a Wookiee and like go to a convention, I'm like, what are we doing right now? So that's how you feel about peanut butter. Okay. I can
Nice.
relate to
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. All right, man. So great talking to you again. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us on this show, on our Tuesday night show. We hope to have you back on this one, and then even on the Wednesday night show, the Football on the No show. It's always a good time. We always like talking ball. I was thinking even sometime maybe we'll play a little music game on the other show too, about some Lamb of God,
Okay.
name that tune or something like
that'd be
that.
great.
A
That'd be a
couple
lot of
notes.
fun.
Yeah, definitely, man. So I appreciate you, and we'll be talking in the future.
All right, man. Yeah, sounds great. Always good to hang with you guys, man. Hope you have a great night, and anytime. Love talking ball with you.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
You got it.
All right, later.
See you, bud.
All right, there we go. Brian No, Fox Sports Radio. Countdown to kickoff on the weekends by BetMGM. So yeah, it's a good time talking to him all the way. He gets so much energy. You know what I mean? That's what I think about Brian. Brian's got the info, but then he brings it with the energy on top of it. And he has good takes. He doesn't give you the takes that everybody else gives you and stuff like that. So he's on top of the ball with all that. And gives it to you real, So we lost Joe somehow. I don't know what happened there with Joe. Joe is gone, but I'm just going to wrap up the show in just a bit here. I thought it would be fun to do a pick six segment. So the I'm bringing back the pick six. We're going to get back into this year, where I come up with a list of 6 things, whether it be my top 6, maybe it's this, it's hits, it's that, and this. So I'm going to keep it Halloween themed. And my pick 6 for tonight is my 6 basic, not reasons, but I guess my signs, my 6 signs that adults have hijacked Halloween. All right. So 6 signs that adults have hijacked Halloween. Number 6, kids can't even get into haunted houses anymore. You have to be old enough, tall enough, whatever. And they're so goddamn scary that they can't even get into these damn things. So it's not even for children anymore. So number 6, can't get into haunted houses. Number 5, the quality of pumpkin carving, right? The quality of pumpkin carving these days is astronomical, right? It's not for children anymore. So it's crazy the fact that they expect kids to do some of these, or just you got all these other people or artists or whatever showing them up so that it's just, not even made for children anymore. You got all these different tools that you could use and stuff like that to carve a damn pumpkin, and it's getting out of hand. So you can see here that Halloween is being hijacked by adults. Joe, welcome back to the show.
Hey, I needed a break. I just,
You did.
I had to step away for a minute. My apologies.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
You're like Lamar. Lamar had to step away for a little bit, had to go poop
Hey.
a little bit, come back, and then you're back for the finish, right?
Sometimes the great ones just need a break,
Mhm. Well, right now I'm doing my pick 6, and I've got my 6
I like
signs that adults have hijacked Halloween.
Yeah.
I started off with kids can't get into haunted houses anymore. Number
Right.
5 is quality of pumpkin carving is astronomical now. And my number four, trick or treating. I see now adults are taking kids out super early. Like once I get home from work, it's daytime, and the kids are out there and they just want to get them done so they can get back to bed or even having their own freaking costume party, right?
True.
They're like, dude, you get your shit, get out of here, not get your candies, and get out. And meanwhile, like I said, I'm trying to have dinner, and then all of a sudden, ding, 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 I'm like, really? Already? I'm like, what the hell? I remember when I was a kid, we used to go out and it was at pitch black, dark, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And just, go door to door. And that's what we did. Right. And not everybody had all these crazy Halloween things all over their lawns and all this other nonsense. We just did our thing, got our couple bags of candy. Let's get the hell out of here. And we win a major score. So nowadays, again, way too early. And I think it's just because the adults want to either get back home and relax,
right,
or they're ready to go party themselves.
Yeah.
All right, now to my top 3 in the pick 6 signs that adults are hijacking Halloween. More adult costumes in the Spirit Halloweens and all these other Halloween places than there are kids' costumes. I have to go shopping. I'm going shopping for my kids' costumes, and the kids section is this big, and the rest of the store is adults and animatronics.
Mm-hmm.
What the frig? Like, Halloween is for kids to go out and go trick-or-treating and get some candy and scares and dress scary or whatever they want to do.
No,
right?
You got to pick from 6 costumes. That's all you get. For the
you get the handful. And then now they're even based off of like kids memes or YouTube videos and characters and things like that. Or, the latest one, a stick figure. We could have did that back when we were younger. Like, are you serious right now? I'm like, oh my gosh, the quality of costumes are terrible. Yeah, it's ridiculous. All right, so more adult costumes than children costumes. All right, number 2, social media posts. Social media posts of people, adults, wearing costumes at multiple parties at multiple times, all over the place. Barely any pictures of children, or their children with them, like a real quick snippet, and then all of a sudden, hey, it's us drunk, at my costume party. This is another sign. Adults are taking over this whole thing. Like I said, barely any children involved in all this. And my number 1 sign that adults are hijacking Halloween is every year the biggest, most popular costume is sexy fill in the blank. Right? Sexy fill in the blank is the top costume, most popular every single year, because you go into the costume places again. Like I said, Joe, you're going, and most of the stores adult stuff. And I have to kick my kids around trying to find their costumes. Again, you're looking for kids, scary little ghosts or whatever. and sexy waitress, sexy Ghostbusters, sexy this, sexy that. I'm like, how's that even a thing? You know what I mean? It's like, it's just ridiculous what they try to come up with these days, man. It's
It
like,
just
it's nuts.
goes to show you that,
It's sexy
in
Amazon chick.
fact, adults are just taking over
They
Halloween.
are.
That's just what it is.
There you go. That's proof
Parties,
right there.
those skimpy outfits that you wear for Halloween for the adults, like everything that you
I'm in
mentioned.
checkout and they have a skull with the spine that's open and it's a funnel. It's like a beer funnel and it goes down all the way down the spine. And this is what I'm talking about. You know, I mean, we're walking through
Yeah.
checkout and this is what we're seeing. So,
Hold on. So we're subliminally doing things to prepare kids to be adults really quickly. Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
right. That's what I
they're
mean. Because
they're pushing them to grow up real quick, become an adult, get a job, and now you get to do all the crazy stuff. So
yeah,
wow.
yeah, the period, like, it's just astronomical, the difference, right? Because now the kids, like, they only go to like what's the cutoff now? What is it? Is it
I
like
mean,
11,
like,
12, right? 12, 13,
I
12,
don't know.
probably,
I
right?
think
You
it's
know?
preference, really. I think there's some people that stay small, so they can get away with
Get
maybe
away with it.
being
Yeah,
22 and 23, 24 maybe, and still go
right.
trick or treating and get away with it. Like,
Mm,
you know,
right. And they get done with it, but then they don't even want to, like my oldest son, doesn't even want to hand out candy. He's just like, all right, I'm done with it now. I'm not going out for it. Just that's it. You guys buying candy? Let me just get some
yeah,
of
yeah,
that.
right.
No,
That's the
you have
thing
to
too.
earn it, bro.
Everything
Right?
seems to be evolving. Like, that's the thing too. You bring up a good point though. Like, what kid wants to go trick or treating if he doesn't have to? So, like,
Right.
if the parents are also saying, "Hey, we're gonna buy a bunch of Halloween candy. We're gonna keep it at the house. Blah blah. Feel free to have some. Blah, blah. Do you want to go? Do you want to go trick or treating tonight? No, we got candy here. Why do I need to go out? That could also be part of that whole movement of adults taking over, because they're allowing it to happen. They're not having fun. There's no
Mhm.
fun for the kids anymore. Like,
Yeah.
a Halloween candy, you can just go, "Hey, mom, go get me, you know, some Reese's. Bring it home. I don't have to go out." So yeah,
Mhm.
it's not the same. And all I gotta say is we were built different. That's it.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, that's true. We were all built different, Joe. All right, enough of our old man on the lawn stuff, right?
No,
Get off my lawn thing. That's it for the show tonight. You know, we had some fun talking to Brian. No, I closed it at the end. I don't know if you're able to catch some of it and stuff, but we talked about, the pony crawl and stuff, but also his candy. He loves anything chocolate too. He loves some Butterfinger. Um, in the Kit
yes,
Kat.
good
Kit
stuff.
Kat's strong. What about you, Joe? What are you about? What's your go-to candy right now?
You know, it seems to constantly change for me, much like
Yeah.
my taste buds. Um, I used to be like a
I
big
thought you were gonna say,
Snickers
much
guy.
like my taste for women.
Yeah.
What was it?
That
What's
too could be. I'm all over
what'd
the
you say
place
with
with
this?
women. So,
Right,
um,
so
but like Snickers used to be kind of like my go-to, I guess,
yep.
and the Kit Kats definitely. But like now, it's like, and I love peanut butter, so like of course you got Reese's, and there's like 20 different kinds of Reese's you can have. Um, but I think I'll say, like, now I'm starting to get into like, no longer really going crazy about Reese's. I'm starting to get into, like, more of the sweeter stuff, like sour stuff, like Sour Patch
Sour
Kids,
Patch Kids. I knew you
stuff
were gonna
like
say
that.
that.
Yeah, I'm all about those. Um, but yeah, like, I don't know, it's I
Hmm.
guess it's gotta strike the mood right, you know?
Yep, yep. Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, that's it for the week. Like we said, we thank Brian No from Fox Sports Radio joining us. It's always a good
Yeah,
time
absolutely,
when he comes on. We talk
absolutely.
sports, we talk, music, we talk art, we talk everything with this guy. He's a great dude. Check him out on iHeartRadio, everywhere you can get your podcast for Fox Sports. He's on the weekends with Jeff Schwartz here. Countdown to Kickoff by BetMGM. He's a better too. So if you guys like to bet and bet on sports stuff like that, they do prop bets all the time. He's doing good right now with the bets he's doing, from what I hear too as well. So check them out on iHeartRadio, to give it a listen and tell them, hey, we talked to Jim and Joe and stuff, and we love those guys. We love you, dude. So hey, we're checking in on you. So that's it for us
Absolutely.
again. Joe,
Yes,
tell them
sir.
one more time where they can get more episodes like this on like our new, I guess, Grumblings Media.
Yeah.
The
So
new location. It's gonna be Grumblings Media Sports now, basically, for us right here, Joe.
yeah. Shh, quiet, Jim. You can't tell everybody everything. Like, listen, that's the whole reason why I came back on. I didn't,
It is.
who cares about the candy and Halloween?
Not
But
the same.
listen, had to do the send off here. But
Mhm.
appreciate you guys for tuning in. Really do. All the comments as well. You guys are amazing. You bring it every single week. Questions, opinions, what have you. If you haven't done so already, do us a huge favor. Head over to YouTube for us at Grumblings Media. Hit that subscribe button while you're there. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up as well. Let YouTube know that, hey, other people should see this show. And don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend. That's right. Share it to everybody you know. Guys, gentlemen, ladies, we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.